Dart Skill presents equivalent fractions. Imagine you have a circular pizza and you want to eat half of this pizza. So you take out a knife and cut it right through the center, and if you eat any one of the two pieces, let's say this one, you will have eaten half the pizza. So the fraction of this circle that's shaded is 1/2. Imagine on another day, you have another pizza of the same size that has already been cut into 4 equal pieces. If you want to eat the same amount as the previous day, that is 1/2 of the whole, you're going to eat all of this. So you will have eaten 1, 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So the fraction shaded on this circle is 2 out of 4 or 2/4. But that's exactly the same amount as this one. And therefore, that leads us to conclude that the fraction 1/2 is exactly the same as the fraction 2/4. Let's have another pizza of the same size. And let's now cut this into 6 equal pieces. And then if you want to eat the same amount as the previous two, you will need to eat all of this and this and this. So then you will have eaten 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 pieces. So that's 3/6. But the picture tells us that this is exactly equal to 1/2 of the pizza, same as the previous two amounts. So we could say 3/6 is the same as 1/2 or 2/4. And they are called equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are fractions that have got different numerators and different denominators but have the same value, 1/2 in this case. And given any fraction, you can always find another fraction that's equivalent to it by simply multiplying the numerator and the denominator with the same number. So if you think about this fraction 1/2, and if you multiply the numerator 1 and the denominator 2 with 2, you have a 1 times 2, that's a 2 on the top, and 2 times 2, that's a 4 on the bottom. And that's this fraction. Or if you multiply 1/2, the numerator and the denominator with 3, you get this one. As long as this number that you're multiplying with is same on both the numerator and the denominator, the new fraction that you get is equivalent to this one. And obviously, because you're free to choose any number that you can multiply with, a fraction can have an infinite number of equivalent fractions. Let's say the fraction 3/4 is equivalent to another fraction that's got a 16 on the bottom. Can we find the numerator of this new fraction? The trick is to find out with what number the old denominator has been multiplied to get the new denominator. So 4 times what is going to give you 16? And the answer is 4 times 4 is 16. And because to get an equivalent fraction, we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator with the same number, 3 also needs to be multiplied with 4. Therefore, the new fraction is 12/16. Let's try this. 2/3 is equivalent to 8 over a denominator. We need to find that out. And that is equivalent to, let's say, something over 15. So we need to find this number out and this number out so that the 3 fractions are equivalent. Once again, you want to ask yourself, okay, I have a 2 here, I have a 8 here, and therefore it must be that 2 has to be multiplied with 4 to get to 8. And if I have to get an equivalent fraction to 2/3, I need to do the same with the 3 on the bottom, times 4. And 3 times 4 is 12. So this has got to be a 12. But then 12 times nothing is going to give you 15. Then how do we find out what this number out here is? Well, let's keep in mind that this fraction out here is equivalent not only to 8/12 but also to 2/3. They're all equivalent. They're like siblings. So if you cannot find the factor with which you need to multiply 12 and 8 with using this 8/12, let's use the 2/3. 3 times what is going to get you to 15? And the answer is 3 times 5 is 15. And therefore you want to do the same with the 2 on the top. 2 times 5. So we have a 10 here. 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12, and that's equivalent to 10/15. They're all equivalent to each other.